My fiancé pressured me to sign a prenup just in case, but I had my lawyer add a clause he definitely missed. Tristan proposed on a yacht with a ring that cost more than most people's cars. His family owned a pharmaceutical empire, and I was a public school teacher making $47,000 a year. Everyone said I was lucky. His mother called me a smart investment once, thinking I couldn't hear. The prenup arrived 3 weeks before the wedding. Tristan slid the document across the dinner table like a business deal. "It's just a formality," he said, refilling his wine. "Protects us both." I noticed it only protected one of us. If we divorced, I'd leave with nothing, not even what I'd contributed to our life together. I spent 2 sleepless nights reading every page. The agreement assumed I'd stop working after marriage, that my teacher's pension would be absorbed into marital assets he'd control, that any inheritance from my family would become his property. I'd essentially be signing away my financial existence. When I asked to have my own lawyer review it, Tristan laughed. "Babe, my lawyers are the best in the state. You don't need to waste money on that." The way he said it made my stomach turn, like I was being difficult for wanting protection too. I hired an attorney anyway. Her name was Geneva, and she'd handled my aunt's brutal divorce. She read the prenup and looked up with fire in her eyes. "This isn't a partnership agreement. This is indentured servitude." We spent 6 hours crafting additions. I insisted on clause 2.7. In the event of infidelity by either party, the faithful spouse receives 70% of all marital assets, plus full ownership of primary residence. Tristan barely glanced at the revisions. His lawyer gave them a cursory review and approved. I signed feeling like I'd just bought insurance I'd never need. The first year was perfect. Tristan was attentive, generous, constantly planning trips. By year 2, the business trips got longer. He'd come home smelling like perfume that wasn't mine, claiming it was from hugging clients. I found hotel receipts for rooms booked on nights he claimed to be in meetings. I started documenting everything. Credit card statements showing jewelry I never received, text messages with someone named Valencia discussing weekend getaways, photos on social media where he'd been tagged at restaurants across town when he told me he was working late. I kept everything in a locked box under my childhood bed at my parents' house. Every piece of evidence felt like another brick in the wall I was building. Our 3rd anniversary, I came home early and found them in our bed. Valencia worked at his company's marketing department. She was 23 and wore the necklace I'd seen on our credit card bill. Tristan stammered about it being a mistake, about stress, about how it meant nothing. I said nothing, just took photos and called Geneva. The divorce papers cited clause 2.7. Tristan's face went white when his lawyer explained what he'd signed. "You can't do this," he said. "That clause is ridiculous. No judge will honor it." The judge did. Tristan lost the house his parents had bought us, lost 70% of his trust fund distributions from the past 3 years, lost the vacation property in Aspen. His mother called me every name imaginable. His father threatened to sue, until their lawyers reminded them their son had signed willingly. Valencia left him 2 months later when the money dried up. Last I heard, Tristan moved back in with his parents and drives a Camry instead of a Tesla. I sold the house and used the money to start a foundation providing legal aid to women in unequal marriages. My apartment is smaller, but it's mine. The prenup he'd meant to trap me with became my ticket out. Sometimes people ask if I feel guilty. I tell them Tristan taught me an important lesson. Always read the fine print, especially when someone says you don't need to. My students ask why I still teach when I could afford not to. I tell them some things matter more than money, like showing young girls that knowledge is power and that no contract should ever make you smaller than you are.